Please give it up for Laura Escudé.
Hey. How's everyone feeling tonight?
Great.
Wait, that's it? How's everyone feeling tonight? So, I'm Laura, and I'm going to do that thing where I do this little slideshow presentation. You guys are hearing feedback. Can someone from the premises help with that, potentially? Maybe, yeah.
What are you in, 3 or 4?
It's all
that.
all there. You want I can send the vocal separately?
I don't know. We have limited
Hey, is
options.
it really, really bad out there? No? It's better now?
Took up a little bit of gain.
This guy. Let's give it a hand. Okay, alright. Yeah, I can hear it a little bit.
There's not much to do. There's no EQ on that
Yeah,
track.
you just lower the mic.
There we go. Pretty much
I
fine.
can try to, do this a little bit. Maybe, I don't know.
That's fine.
Technical difficulties.
It's going to be wonderful. It's fine. It's fine, yeah. It's good.
I live in that world, so it's cool. But usually I'm not the one that has to deal with the feedback stuff. But anyway, I'm Laura. I am. Oh, let me go back to the beginning. All right, here I am, Laura Escudé.
Yeah.
I have a company called Electronic Creatives, and I'm also an Ableton-Certified trainer. It's actually the first Ableton-Certified trainer. And my mission is to empower people to cultivate their own original voice, encourage positive and healthy relationships, and build community by sharing resources. This is me in 2005. Yes, I'm wearing a PlayStation MIDI glove. It's actually for PlayStation, but then I converted it to MIDI, and I just did all this fun stuff, like waved my arms around. And I just realized that it didn't really look that cool. So I moved on. I started working at Ableton in 2007, and this is me at the NAMM show. Anyone going to be at the NAMM show next week? Yes! Abita will be at the NAMM show. Everyone go follow the Creator Suite, by the way, on Instagram. That is an amazing resource for all things audio, music. So I became an Ableton-Certified trainer in 2008, and then I started working at Cirque du Soleil, at this job. They were like, do you want to move to Vegas and work with us on this show? And I was like, yeah, that's a job? I had no idea. So I became a live show programmer, and I worked on the show Viva Elvis. And then I got a call from this sales guy, and he was like, hey, do you want to go on tour with this guy? And I was like, yeah, sure, cool. So I started touring with Kanye, and I did basically every show from 2011 to 2017. I composed the intro music for the Coachella show, played violin on that as well. I did Watch the Throne, I played on violin on the Watch the Throne album as well. I did Yeezus, I did SNL, I did all kinds of stuff. I was even on a bus with Jesus from Yeezus. And yeah, he was a musician. He was a Jesus, but anyway, this is me with all my laptops and stuff on the, I think it was Watch the Throne tour. And this is the St. Pablo tour. That's my rig, 4 laptops with a bunch of gear. And I was even at the VMAs when he said that he was going to run for president. That was fun. And Glastonbury, when this guy ran on stage and tried to rap with him during the show. That was one of the craziest moments I've ever experienced. It's nothing like being on stage thinking that you're alone and then all of a sudden there's someone next to you, right? It's weird. This is the production manager carrying the guy off stage, who's a comedian named Yeezus. Anyway, this is Kanye and Paul McCartney. I got to work with Paul, amazing experience. He came up to me and he was like, I really love what you're doing. I was like, Paul McCartney, that's who I It's amazing. So everyone thinks that tour life is like models popping bottles, right? But this is what tour life is like: pushing cases around, not sleeping in a bed for days on end. But sometimes you end up in places like Ibiza for a week, so it's not too bad. Or weddings in Italy. So I also work with Jay-Z, Drake, Miguel, Bon Iver, the Yeah-Yeahs, The Weeknd, Herbie Hancock, Porter Robinson, Kaiser, Charlie XCX, Iggy Azalea, Becky G, Selena Gomez, Logic, Missy Elliott. And so I worked with all these people, and I decided I need to clone myself. What am I gonna do? So I started my team of nerds, and we're called Electronic Creatives. And so basically what we do is we do all things live show design, programming, playback engineering. And so having these people on my team has been so amazing. We do sales, marketing, tech support. Well, actually, no, wait, hold up. This is what I did forever. So I did sales, marketing, tech support, producing, programming, web design. I did all the things, right, for a long time. And then once we got these roster of people, then I started to hire more and more people. These are some of our current artists. And we basically are playback techs, programmers, and do operations. So this is one of my guys. Actually, he was based in New York, and I met him in 2012, and The Weeknd was looking for someone to do their playback, and I was like, hey, do you want to go on tour with The Weeknd? And he was like, who? And so obviously that was before Starboy and all that stuff. So he started going on tour with The Weeknd, and he still works with them. So that was pretty amazing. These are some of my guys getting ready for the Harry Styles tour that just wrapped up earlier this year. And so we do playback, gear rental, design, and production, music programming, and live show design. So what does that mean? That means we do work with stems, we do music editing, we do transitions, we do versions, we do remixes. So like, for instance, if, I don't know, there's a song like that has 10 different artists on it, you gotta have like 10 different versions just in case that artist pops up at the show at Madison Square Garden, right? You gotta have remixes of the songs, because if you're in New York, you can't just play like a regular song, you gotta play the New Yorkified song. So we also do sound effects and sound design. So like if the artist is like, hey, I want that one lion roar, it's gotta sound like rawr. You gotta find rawr right before the show, and it's gotta be the right rawr. So we also work with the band and instruments. We do band cues and clicks. The band has all this fun stuff in their in-ears telling them what to do, like, hey, there's a chorus coming up, you should pay attention, or don't play right now because you're gonna totally screw up the whole show if you play. I'm also really into controllerism, the art of bringing together music playback and controllerism. And so one thing I've really been an advocate for is tour DJing, programmers as controllerists, right? So we do all this stuff, we work with controllers, we're good at editing, we're good at all this music stuff, and we are really good at performing it a lot of times. So here's me on the Ellen show performing with Kaiser, Charlie XCX. I toured with Miguel for a year, and I was opening up for him as his DJ, which was an incredible experience because I got to do controllers and stuff for a completely different audience that had no idea what I was doing, and it was awesome. And I got to DJ for Snoop Dogg and Kendrick one night, and they brought like a USB stick and asked me to plug it in right in the middle of the show. And I was like, man, if this was anyone but Kendrick, I would not be doing this right now. But yeah, you haven't felt alive until you drag a file off of a USB stick while Ableton is running and drop it into the session. Okay. All right, this is me doing controllerism stuff with Iggy Azalea. This is, I already showed that in my presentation. Okay, here's me performing. Now it's glitching and my computer is being weird. Well, probably because I have a million things going on up here. Okay, so we've got effects and sounds, vocal effects, basically all those artists that are out there in the world that they sound perfect. Some of them are, some of them aren't. So we do love Autotune, which is great. I love Autotune. Anyone else love Autotune? Don't lie. Don't lie. Hey, I don't know. Okay. We also do lighting and video sync. So for all these big shows, all this stuff, it's actually coming out of Ableton. It's triggering all the lighting and video. So if like our system goes down at the show, it's a wrap, right? So all those laptops that you saw that I mentioned earlier on are controlling the music, the cues, vocal effects, lighting, video, all that good stuff. Cool. So we also work with musical directors, designers, directors of the show. We work with the artists directly. And I'm also a performer. So I call myself, my brand, Future Classical. I do shows, I do production, I do collabs. This is me performing at Low End Theory in LA. I've released albums. I just recently released Transmute, which I'm here touring in support of this weekend, Saturday at National Sawdust. And I've done a bunch of remixes for Polisa, Mr. Hudson, and M83. Performed with a bunch of different artists, done music videos, composition, sound design, violin, recording, played on Watch the Throne, the Big Grams album. And I do presentations and talks, just like this one at Berkeley, and all different kinds of stuff. So 2 years ago, I had this crazy idea to do this retreat for live performers, and I call it the Transmute Retreat. We've got one attendee here, and basically it was like a week-long magical experience at this retreat center where we did live performance stuff all day, every day, and yoga and meditation. It was super cool, and it was an amazing experience. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to try to take this experience online. So I formed the Transmute Accelerator online program. It's actually launching in February. So I want to show you guys a little video of that so you can see what that's all about. No box, I don't want you right now. Here we go.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is
Oh,
Laura.
gotta change the sound. Anyone know how to do that? That's what you don't want to have happen in the middle of the show. I'm an artist, I'm an electronic musician, and I'm a live performer. I also call myself a controllerist because I love controllers. And I'm also the CEO of a company called Electronic Creatives, and we do live show design and programming for artists like Kanye West, Logic, Mariah Carey, Ariana Grande, Pentatonics, whole bunch of folks.
They've legitimately changed every aspect of how I perform live.
I actually went to see Laura's show in LA, and I got to see what she was doing with all of her controllers and Ableton and like looping. I was like, that's amazing. And I had one with Laura, and we discussed, the overview of what I want to do. This was the hard part, was getting you to get really specific. What do I actually want to do? Let's do it now. This is how you do it.
This woman is one of the smartest people on the planet, and she is absolutely the best person in Ableton Live in the world.
I painted
I think
it.
having the dedicated focus and work transformed my life set.
It allows me to connect to who I am as an artist, to my ability to convey that.
So much has changed in such a wonderful way. I feel so much more confident in setting up my live shows.
I've definitely gone through some kind of crazy electronic transformation. So I'm about to take some real risks, and I'm really excited about it.
All right, so that's Transmute, and I'm really excited about it because I'm like just converting it online, and it's so amazing because we have some people that have signed up that are just incredible. So I also have, no Chrome. Come on. I also have something called Master Track, which is for playback engineers. And so I want to show you that video as well, because that'll be launching in March. I'm really excited about this one.
Oh yeah, this is what it's like to learn something in a formal setting.
Lasers, the lights, the content, the video, automation, things moving up and down, all of that's being controlled from our position.
There's never been a classical This class for me is everything that I wish I had had when I first started this job.
The technical stuff we're going to teach you, that's cool, but it's like, these are the real stories of what you're going to encounter on the road.
There's really, really nice things about being an artist in this industry, and then also some like really bad things.
You cannot learn this on YouTube. You cannot learn this from Reddit forums on how to tour.
Any touring gig that I've ever taken on, I've learned sometimes the hard way to see the art from that same experience and be wanting to share all this knowledge. It's such a unique thing.
I started touring with artists like Kanye West and Miguel, and built my company, started training other people to become playback engineers or programmers.
These are people who are doing stuff in the real world, for real artists on huge stages.
I told her that I wanted to make this video because it legitimately changed every aspect of how I perform live.
When I saw an opportunity to work with somebody who's kind of been at the top level in the industry, I want to be able to do it and then not have to think about second guess and wonder if this is going to be a good way for the next year.
Not every artist has the same setup, so having this wide vision of different situations, I think that has been really cool.
I think it's underestimated what we do. It really is a high pressure job. Everybody can fall on stage, except for you.
When you are the nexus of the show in the technical sense, that's a ton of responsibility.
Each artist has a different set of needs that can be very small to them, but change the game entirely for us.
They have a vision, they know what they want, but they don't necessarily know exactly how to get there. What you see is to give us the tools that we need to help that artist bring their vision to life.
If the musical support system around me is doing its job, then I can do my job, and my job is to keep the audience.
While, of course, we cover a lot of technical stuff, the focus really seems to be on the best way to service the artist. Very often that might not be the technical details.
It was a real life situation. You gotta do this now, you gotta do it as quickly as possible, and you have to do it as thoroughly as possible.
You are here to make mistakes, you are here to learn.
It's hard to imagine a better way to set yourself up for success.
To actually be in the room and just see everything and be taking notes was like invaluable.
Being a class of 15, 20 people who are all like-minded, who are all amazing and smart and inspired and really awesome.
It's a collection of brilliant minds who are all sharing their experiences.
We have people who are musicians, touring, some people working on TV, DJs.
We're not only learning from the instructors or from the daily speakers, but also from the classmates.
You have this whole lifeline of people who are always like a phone call away.
It was a really supportive group of people. The artists who came in were very supportive, the music directors were very supportive.
I'm way more confident offering this as a service.
My mind was just open, and the knowledge that I've gotten in the week has been more than a semester in college.
All right, so, sorry, I thought that was like the short version, I don't want to stop in the middle. So anyway, those are the two kind of educational things that I'm involved with. So if you know of anyone that wants to do their own live show or wants to be a playback engineer, definitely holla. And let me just finish this up. So I've got Audrey here, who's in the back with my phone, live streaming you all on my Instagram. So if you guys are interested and want to give your email address to her after this, that'd be great. And here I am on all the socials. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I'm done now. No. Okay, I'm done with the boring part, which is like, you know, you always come to these presentations and you're like, who are these people? What are they doing? So I like to just, you know, give a little info. So now, on to what you guys really came for, which is the monstrosity that is my live set behind here. And so I thought it would be cool to like maybe just perform a little bit, and then I can kind of show you guys what I do. So I'm gonna try to make this not awkward up here while I perform, but it is low, so I might stand but then stoop down, so hopefully it won't be awkward. But just know, if it is awkward, then on Saturday it won't be awkward at National Sawdust. Okay. All right. Hey, yes. Okay. gotta do is tune, right? Does anyone play a string instrument in here? Yeah, hey! So, yeah, it got a tune, right? It just like gets out of tune and... Luckily there's a tuner in live, right? You can see it on my screen up there. I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I don't have perfect pitch, but it's like relative, so I just press this button on my controller here and it pops up. So if you see me rocking around, it's because it's a little treacherous up here. So hopefully I won't fall off the stage. Let me just make sure all is working. All right. If I do, no, that's not gonna work. Okay. I told you it was going to be awkward. here. You guys should get one of those autonomous tables out here that you have in the back. That would be sick, right? Just be like, okay, the artist, like whatever level that you want to be at, right?
Good point,
Should do that. Hot tip right there. Does anyone else have an autonomous desk? So standing desks are like pretty inexpensive, or you can just like make it whatever height you want. That'd be so sick here.
MIDI controlled.
What?
MIDI controlled. Autonomous desk.
MIDI controlled desk. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. are just actually totally disconnected just now. That's awesome. So I have no mic. Why am I talking to the mic? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, something like that. I promise on Saturday is going to be way better. But, you know, that's what it is. So. All right. So, curiously, the Apollo is still there. So it just was like, yeah, F you. You're done with your set. Okay, it's time to go home. No. I promise there's more. There's still more. You guys sat through all my videos, so I promise you there's more. Okay, so yeah, all kinds of interesting things happening up here. Like at the beginning of the last song, like I had some random violin preset just came up, and I just played it off like it was part of my thing. But I'm telling you guys, because you're cool and stuff. But yeah, it's always fun, like when you're doing so much stuff and like something unexpected happens and you're just like, should I just roll with this? Like just lean into it and like keep looping this thing that sounds fucking weird or not? I don't know. What would you guys do?
Lean into it.
Lean into it?
Do it 3 more times, it's 4 more loops.
Right, it's a 4 bar loop. Or like that, like when you do something where it's like slightly out of tune and then you gotta listen to it looping for like the rest of the song. You're just like, ah. Every time it comes around, you're just like, you know, like I should have warmed up in the bathroom before I came out here. I should have done this. I should have did my vocal lesson with my teacher on Skype right before this. You guys ever think like that? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, me neither. Not at all. Okay, so yeah, that's some stuff that I do, and I would love to get out of the way the best part of this. Well, I don't know, arguably the best part. But let me open up this app called Merlin, and I know there's like all levels here, so you know, it's cool if I'm saying some stuff that's like you don't completely understand, but that's why 343 Labs is here and other fine institutions, so they can help you out with the super getting started from like the beginning and like progressing on your journey. So there's this app called Merlin that I use, and basically it converts audio into MIDI in real time. So I'm like playing a synthesizer with my violin. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
You guys think that's cool? Okay. I could also do it with my vocals. I'm not set up for it right now because I have like my mini set going on here. Does anyone else like gig and they have like their hometown set where they have all this stuff and you're just like, yeah, it's so rad, and then you like go travel to another city and you're like, just got the regular table that they give you, you know? Like at the venue on Saturday, it's like, oh yeah, it's a regular table. It's not my fancy stands that I love. No. It's gonna be awesome, but does anyone else feel like that? Sometimes where you got like your stuff and then you travel and it's like 50 pounds around there and you're like, really? This is all I can bring. This is all I can bring. It's still a lot of stuff. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So, Merlin. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Sorry.
Not you.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
So why would you use Merlin and convert audio to MIDI?
I'm about to show you. You're 2 steps ahead of me.
Sorry. No. Why wouldn't you just or when do you prefer using that over like just putting an effect on your audio?
Well, then I couldn't control a synthesizer with my violin. Or I couldn't control this
Okay.
thing over here.
All right. Question answered.
With my violin, right? So right now, we're giving you the small version to entice you to come to my show on Saturday. But imagine that at National Sawdust, like the whole thing is going to be mapped with this Unreal video, right? So does anyone know what Unreal is? A couple people? You probably know how to explain it better than I do, but it's a gaming engine that people use to create VR stuff, right? And I've had my super genius friend named Scott Pagano create this world for me. It's called World. It's a world, anyway. And so I'm controlling it through MIDI Merlin with my violin. So like every time I play a note, it makes these little balls appear over there. And then also, when I play my push or the rolling, isn't that badass? Yeah. I can't take credit for it. I collaborated with a genius. But anyway, it's, you know, this is like where I'm going with my audiovisual stuff because it's interactive. It's like cinema quality stuff and it's in real time. It's animated. It's like so freaking cool. So anyway, that's why I use MIDI Merlin. And you can tell like every time I play my violin, the mic cuts out. And that's for a reason because when I'm playing violin, I don't want the violin to bleed into the microphone. So I have a side chain on my mic. So every time I play the violin, you can't hear my mic. So I can't do both at once on stage, but it actually makes it sound so much cleaner if I don't. So sometimes I have to remember that to not do that. Okay, so that's MIDI Merlin, and basically, yeah, all it's doing is taking the audio from my violin, converting it into MIDI in real time, and it's controlling that synthesizer, and it's also controlling this other computer visuals over here, and it's creating all these like elements just out of thin air, and I'm really proud of it. So anyway, that's that, and I will just close it now because it takes up about 99% of my CPU. Bye-bye. Okay, you got that. So other stuff. So I've got, yeah, the violin. I did have the violin.
Question.
Yes.
What pickup are you using?
I'm using, not a pickup. Okay, listen, how many of you would rather yourself look cool rather than sound cool? Oh yeah, there's people out there though. You know what I'm talking about. But you gotta have the happy medium, right? So, yeah. So we get this violin, which I'm not sure why it's not coming in now. It just was. Yeah. Something is coming in. Okay, well, we'll figure it out in a bit. So basically, I've got my violin, and you know what? I could probably just restart this whole thing. Actually, no, I shouldn't do that because I made a lot of changes right before I came on here, and I don't want to screw myself. That's you always gotta think about your future self when you're like doing a session where you're like rerouting all this stuff. So I've got this violin. I've got these different effects on my violin that you guys heard, and let me. Oh, you know what? Ha! It's also you should always make sure that the faders are back up after you do an epic meltdown of your live performance and everything just like melts down and it sounds really cool, but then when you turn the fader back up. So anyway, I usually don't talk after my live show. I usually just like close the laptop and just walk away. So yeah, here's the violin sound. I've got a few different effects. Got like just the regular. I got my cello sound, which secretly I wish that I was a cello player, but I didn't play it. It's also really big. Like imagining bringing all this stuff and the cello. So I just fake it. So hot tip here, and my friend Trevor at the last Ableton Music Group New York that I did here, there was this guy, Trevor New, amazing viola player. He and I did a nerd out session afterwards, and we like swapped sessions, and it was super rad. And he introduced me to this plugin called Pitch Proof. This takes up about 98% of my CPU, but it is the best sounding pitch shifter that I've ever heard in my life. Highly recommend it. Hot tip, very hot tip. This is free. You can get it online. Pitch Proof. Definitely do it for vocals, for instruments, whatever. Super fun. So I've got that sound. So I've got some delay as well. And so I've actually been experimenting with this new pedal called the Eventide H9, which is just below my feet here. Does anyone use Eventide stuff? Do you say Eventide or Eventide?
Even.
Even? Okay, someone said Evan the other day, and I was like, I've been saying it wrong the entire time. So Eventide H9, it's for guitar players, the bass players, I don't know, for those people. So if you use that, you could use it. But I'm using it for the violin. And basically I'm like trying out this like combination setup where like I control some live effects with my foot pedal here. It's wireless, it's called the POC, and it's Bluetooth, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, so I use this to do all the looping stuff, right? And then I use this to change the sounds in real time, so between all the sounds that I just played for you. And so what I've been experimenting with is, because Eventide asked me to do a demo at NAMM next week. Who's going to be at NAMM again? Anyone? Yes, one person. All right, we're hanging. Yeah, I got to figure out how to use this thing. So I told myself, okay, self, you got to use this thing, got to become badass at this thing, right? You got 1 week. Let's go. So I set up a few sounds in it, and that was like that funny, weird sound that you heard at the beginning that didn't mean to be there. And so what I'm doing is I'm actually controlling the H9 through live, through dummy clips. If you guys want to know about dummy clips, you should definitely go to school here. They'll tell you all about dummy clips. But for now, just know that like a dummy clip is a thing that just makes you change parameters of presets in real time. So like, oh yeah, not that. I gotta turn my gain down. Hold up. I knew it was a bad idea to turn it. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna make you guys sit through that. So anyway, I gotta like hold up. Hold up. I gotta redo do the levels on all this stuff because I'm preparing for this thing again, right? But so there's all these crazy sounds in the H9, and you can actually change the sounds with your iPhone as well, which is super cool. They've got like, I don't know, 1 million different sounds in there. So, and I use my foot controller to change some of the sounds using this Max for Live device, which is a program launcher. So basically I just tell it, okay, it's number 15 on the Eventide H9, and then I've got number 15 mapped on my foot controller down here. So the possibilities are kind of endless because you've got all the live effects, and then you've got like all the outboard effects in this pedal, and I can't really show it to you. Well, maybe I can. No. Okay. Anyway, it's really small. It's like this big. It's down here. It's white. So it's like that big, and it's like got tons of effects in it. So anyway, that's what I'm playing around with at the moment, just like figuring out new stuff to do there. And the wireless foot controller at the end, when you heard me looping, I was just kind of triggering different loops, recording different loops, and then changing the sounds of the foot controller from going from the H9 to live effects. Question.
You ever get latency?
That is an excellent question. Latency. Oh, our friend latency. Yeah, I do. Yeah, it sucks. And I got one of these newfangled Macs, right, that, I don't know, it's supposed to be extra powerful. And, I don't know. My old Mac was way more stable and less latent, so, I don't know. If you have the pre-USB-C version, stick with it. Don't upgrade. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I had a show though where I took this laptop out, worked great at home, got to the show, the session didn't open. I spent an hour and a half just trying to open the session, right? Wouldn't open. So I had to use up my backup computer, which I luckily had there. So then I got home, and then the session worked magically. The first thing I did when I got home was like, I'm just gonna turn this on and see if this works. And it did. And I was like, what? It just was sabotaging me. So anyway, stuff like that happens. I'm sure you guys know who are gigging, you know what I'm talking about. There's a ghost in the machine. But yeah, latency, sorry. So I'm at 128 right now, if you guys wanted to know. I know you guys wanted to know what my buffer size was. Inquiring minds want to know. So yeah. Like if I could go to 64 but not run like the MIDI Merlin and all that kind of stuff, and my loops would be tighter. I bet you were probably like, yeah, she's probably on 128. I can like hear that. Like those loops weren't that tight. But yeah, 128 is kind of like in the middle for me. Like if I'm doing like vocals for an artist, I definitely wouldn't go anywhere above 64 because they're just going to be like, oh my gosh. But you can probably hear, I don't know, maybe a little bit latency right now on my vocal. Maybe not. No, you're good? He's yawning. He's tired. He's like, oh, let's go. Yeah, see what happens? Just weird stuff happens. Okay, so, all right, I'm going to put this away. Just like that. Sorry. Awkward. Okay. It's interesting, like sitting and like doing a live set or like standing. I don't know. So anyway, what else? Okay, so I've got this push over here. I actually got a question for you guys. Okay, and I'm for real. Who uses the push? Okay. Do you guys ever have that problem where the red arm button does it in pink and then it arms multiple tracks? And then, yeah. So, right. It's doing that now. So annoying, especially performing live. But I don't know. It could be me. Because I got a lot of stuff going on here. Just saying. I got a lot of MIDI stuff. There's a lot of MIDI stuff. So if anyone knows a fix for this, please come see me, because I would love you. You know, thanks, Ben.
I got you.
Ben from Ableton, yes! Ben got. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that.
Okay, so got some like strum stuff, all kinds of stuff. My favorite button. And then got like, let me go turn off that track real quick. And then got some different instruments over here on this track. Got a sub. Got this instrument that I made out of my vocals. Actually collaborated with Afro DJ Mac. You guys should follow him if you don't, because he's awesome. And I was on his podcast, and we talked about all kinds of cool stuff. And also, he put together this vocal rack on his website. Back when I was going by Alux, you guys may or may not know that, but I changed my name to myself. So I'm not going by Alux anymore. Then I've got this thing called the vocal Granulator, right? And so this thing is kind of cool. John touched on this earlier, and Is he still here? Oh, he was. Yeah. Anyway, tell him I gave him a shout out. Okay, so it's this thing. Okay, so if I go so it's kind of like that, like you just like sing something and then it just makes it weird, right? Would anyone like to try it up here? Can I get a volunteer to get weird with me? How much time do we got? Am I just like going on forever? He wants to get weird, he's yawning, he wants to get weird, which is it? He's trying to need some coffee. No, how much time do I have? What? 5 minutes?
Yeah, like 5.
Oh, okay, cool. All
Is that
right.
enough time to get weird?
We're
not weird.
Yeah, let's do it.
You can go. What am I doing? Weird?
Yeah.
I don't sing.
No, I don't. It
Good.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. It's treacherous. Watch out. Hold on.
Okay.
I want to get weird, but not that weird.
Very still.
Oh wait, I've got a melting.
Shit's already so weird.
Okay.
Any noise?
Yeah.
Can I take a death metal, bro?
Just do something.
You're alive.
Live here and available on Blood Soup.
That was it. You want to play it? Yeah. Here you go. That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Every time it creaks up here, like, something's happening.
I have the whole part of this instrument now.
Okay, watch out. No, it's okay. All right, we're good. Okay, it's all good. Okay, thank you for helping me out. Okay, turn over the violin. Oh yeah. So over here, got this thing. I first love the Ohm by Living Instruments. So I do all of my navigation stuff on here, and got also some vocal effects over here, and some other like
Mysterious. Weird. Vocal effects.
Sound like I'm way far away. So there's that. I trigger the sounds, and then I've got like other like violin effects over here, glitchy stuff, and then I control like the levels of the violin loops over here. So like at the end when I was like cutting stuff in and out, like the cello sound and like the regular sound, it's just like boom, boom, boom. So that's all that stuff is over here. And then I just started recording a loop.
That's awesome.
It happens when you sit too close to the foot controller. All right, so got the Rolly Rise over there. Anyone use the Rolly Rise? No, cool. It's cool. Yeah, there's like some good sounds in there. You can like use pressure sensitivity and get weird. Also, I'm just a big fan of getting weird in general. So there's that. And then also there's this beat controller, which I can try not to get feedback. With and I can has a mind of its own. It's got a mind of its own. And so yeah, I can. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm doing this. and then this, and this, and then I've got my Autotune button. Yeah, because I use Autotune sometimes, and I like to use it. And so I don't. And then I use the harmony engine at the same time. And so all of that stuff actually changes for every song that I'm using with these dummy clips, right? So depending on what key I'm in, I trigger the song and it changes what key I'm in with the tune, what key I'm in with the harmony engine, and it also changes what key I'm in on the push due to something called CliffX. And CliffX is anyone use CliffX here? A couple people, cool. It's like a scripting language for your push. So like, if you didn't have it, you'd have to change the key of your push every time you started a song. But with this, you just like put in what key you want and changes it for you with this script right here. So it looks crazy, but it's really not. But yeah, you just like learn how to use this and it just triggers the push. It changes the scale magically, which is awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to turn off my foot controller so I don't accidentally loop anything else.
Laura, do you ever use the Keith McMillan foot controller?
You know, I did, and I want to get one again because I didn't appreciate its magic the first time around.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
They're really light.
They're really light. I know. Maybe, are you saying that
No,
I have too much stuff over? Okay. So let's see, other stuff. Okay, so I've got like some tracks that are playing here and some parts of tracks. Like I've gone through like so many different like evolutions of what I've done, and you know, at the end of the day, like you got all your stems in there, it's cool, but you're like really the only person that knows that they're all in there. So I like to go between like stems and clips and like triggering clips, and then I like to play the actual full song. So I've got some music in here, and then I've got like a bunch of looper stuff in here, but my bass separate because if I want to go to a club, like this weekend, I want my bass to be banging, and I want whoever is mixing my show to be able to mix that separately. So hot tip, send the bass out separately if you can. Vocal looper stuff, I can loop my vocal with the Wii as well. And oh yeah, I'm using something called Escudé for the Wii, so I can convert the OSC messages into MIDI, and it's Bluetooth. So yes, it's wireless. And then in here, I just got this is like the mess of my set. It's called Utility, and it's just like where there's just like a bunch of MIDI shit, basically. So, whoa. So like all of the violin stuff, the violin looper stuff, I've got like, it's, you know, anyway, it's like too much to go into right now, but I will be talking about this in my course, Transmute. If you guys are interested. We've got one person here that's going. Yeah. Actually, we met at the user group in New York 2 years ago. Yeah, and she came to my retreat too. She's in the video. Do you guys recognize her from the video? Okay. Anyway, Mary, great musician also. You guys should follow her. Yeah.
It was a really great experience. So
The retreat. We retreated. And then I've got my in-ears. These guys. So in the in-ears, I've got a click for myself going on, and it's just basically the live click that I've resampled, and so I can trigger it when I trigger a song, and then it's off when I don't have a song, essentially. And then I also have these like little loops for my in-ears as well, so essentially what these things do is give me like a pitch cue for myself, like before I play a song that I'm going to sing in the very beginning. It's just like, love, and I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing. It's not cheating, it's smart. So this is what all the pros do. So I highly recommend you guys do that. Help yourselves out. Give yourselves a little pitch reference, unless you have perfect pitch, which then I hate you. So
No pitch pipe.
no pitch pipe. Okay. I'm trying to think of what else. Okay, then sometimes I record my set inside my set, and so I've got this whole like recording bus section down here, so I can like record all of my channels discreetly.
Why would you do that?
So I would do that so I could mix it after the fact, because sometimes, especially, well, if you got stuff that's baked together, like if you're playing a smaller venue and things are just coming out of a stereo output, and then you record in like a Zoom control recorder, or they record off the board or something like that, then everything's like baked in together. And if you're like, man, my vocal's just too loud, or I want to tune my vocal in Melodyne, or any of those tricks, just like record your dry vocal in live, and then after the fact you can like make it sound better magically. Sprinkle a little dust on it. Yeah.
How did you set that up?
So basically I just got this like hidden section here, and I'm taking the audio from, well, it's not all routed right now, but like audio from my returns, right? Which I guess I should show you. So all of my stuff is routed out to these returns here. It's like all the tracks, and I have it routed kind of funny right now because we're here, and everything's coming out of 1 and 2. But normally everything's going out of different outputs, and then, yeah, then they can mix things separately. So before, if I'm performing a show and it's not fancy, and I don't have someone mixing or like recording every single output, then I can use the record section here, which is super cool. All right, well, I've been talking for a long time. I know some of you probably have some questions because I've just been like jammering away. Jammering? Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I had this show on Saturday. And Julie, Snow Angel's here, and she is headlining. It's her album release. She's a sound designer for Ableton. She's a badass, and we're performing together for the first time. We met today for the first time, even though we've been friends on the internet for like years. So you should definitely come out and check us out. She's a badass, and she's got like a crazy looking set, and it's gonna be so awesome. Yeah. Okay, so if you guys are tired, you can totally go home. I'm kind of tired too, but I can answer some questions, or you guys can just go. I know I just talked about a bunch of stuff, and some of you that are just starting out are like, what is going on? But that's what they got schools like this fine establishment for. You can like get to places where you make weird sounds that are random, that you don't mean to at any given moment on stage. Okay, we got 2 questions. Wait, let's take this gentleman right here. With the hat. Behind you, sorry. The other hat.
What made you get into all these fields?
What made me get into the...
All these fields,
the
the
fields.
programming, the design.
Oh, I'm a big nerd. I don't know the answer to that question, but that would be my only answer, I guess. I don't know. I just love it. Yeah. Yes.
It's not a technical question.
Okay.
Like, how do you keep all these fields and disparate things? How do you find time for yourself to be?
Oh.
I guess.
Oh, wow. This is a good question. So last year I went on a retreat. Not a retreat that I was putting on. It was funny, when I did my retreat, I was like, man, this is so awesome. I wish I was just on the retreat, hosting the retreat. So I went on a retreat. It involved work though. It was called The School for the Work by Aaron Katie. It's thought work stuff, and that changed my life. It was 9 days, no phone, no laptop. Can you imagine? No Instagram. Whoa. What? Whoa. Right? It's possible. No. Yeah, I went on this retreat, whatever you want to call it, sabbatical. And yeah, I was just like, more of this. So I'm definitely, you know, building more of that into my life because, yeah, I've been kind of going hard for a long time and doing too much stuff. But I also have an amazing team too, and like I have built up my team over the last couple of years, and like for me, forever it was just a one-woman show, and I was just like, okay, I'm handling all the things, and now like I'm like, oh, I've got this person that handles like, all the scheduling and coordination, and just made a general manager for my company, which is awesome. So that like takes some of that away from me, and I've got Audrey, my assistant here, who's awesome. She's been helping me, so she's in the back. And yeah, just like a bunch of amazing people in my company that just all do great things, and it's been cool to find, like, be out there, like, giving talks and, like, meeting people and just, like, finding out what their strengths are and just, like, all coming together and just forming one big nerd posse, essentially. But yeah, I don't know, that's a long-winded answer to, like, yeah, I need to find more time for myself, and I've been doing it, and it's awesome, and I highly recommend it. If you guys, especially in the technology stuff, we're like so like on our laptops or our phones like every second, and so we gotta remember to like cut the cord sometimes and just like go on a Vipassana retreat. Has anyone ever done that? Vipassana? You have?
Yeah.
Wow.
Talent.
I salute you. Do you guys know what that is? That's 10 days of meditation and no talking. I hear it's life-changing. I hear it's life-changing. Was it? Was it amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So stuff like that. I recommend that. For you, no. And for me. Okay, yes.
What is your background with violin and classical music?
Okay, so I started out playing violin when I was 6 and was doing the whole classical thing forever, and I don't know, just like always played in orchestras and did all that. And then when I was 20, which is about like 5 years ago, I went to my first rave, and some of you that have been in my presentations before know, like, I go on, when I do like the longer winded, it's like, I went to my first rave, and it changed my life. But yeah, it did, and I discovered electronic music, and I was like, oh my gosh, how do I do this? And then I started playing violin over drum and bass music, which was a horrible first style of music to start playing violin over, because it's so fast, and it's awful sounding, but anyway, yeah, classically trained, got into all this stuff, and just kind of took it from the rave to here. Yeah, there was another question in the back, yes.
For the harmonization of the vocals, what effect do you use?
Okay, yes, the harmonization for my vocals, it's something called Harmony Engine. Harmony Engine. And, here we go, looks like this. Antares, they also make Autotune. So, yeah, like, do you guys like Bon Iver?
Yeah, is that what he uses?
Bon Iver? Bon Iver? Yeah. Well, so actually, I worked with him on a show, and we were using this. He actually went back to the TC because he liked that one better. But it's essentially the same thing. And I don't know, it just depends on if you want to like have a box with you or you want to have something in software. Then you get that latency problem. I mean, this thing takes up 97% of my CPU, so that's why I had it off, right?
What TC helicon does he use?
I can't remember the model, but it's like one of those
The vocal
harmonizer, thingy, with the jigger, that guy. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
I just want to say, I think it's a miracle that your set is holding together right now. Like, you got so much stuff going on, and Merlin crashed in the middle of your set last time. Like, how often does that happen, man? Like,
How often does my set crash?
yeah, like what
That
happens?
is
What do you do in
question.
the middle of that?
Well, if I'm on my super pro game, like when I was at Loop, did anyone else go to Ableton Loop? Yeah? Yes. Okay, a couple people. So I did a version of this at Ableton Loop, yeah, I made sure to have a backup computer for that one, you know, because it was in my hometown and like, you know, I could have all the things. And so I had a whole backup computer, and that's what we do when we work with these big artists, right, is we have a whole backup system, right? So we actually have a way that it's set up so that if the A machine goes down, it automatically switches over to the backup computer. So luckily during loop it didn't do that. And actually it's very stable. And I'm just gonna keep saying that it's very stable until Saturday and all throughout next week when I'm in NAMM and South by. But yeah, it's like it is very stable. Today's been a bit weird because I don't know. It's like, yeah, you're presenting at the Ableton user group. Like, who do you think you are? I can't be perfect. It's gotta screw up somehow. But I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. But it's somehow like I kind of fight with it a little bit. Like I'll add a bunch of stuff and I'll be like, okay. Now my buffer's at 256, and now I'm unhappy because I can't loop because it sounds like it's not in time, and so I gotta get rid of some stuff. So what do I like the least? Okay, it's this really cool Max for Live plugin that sounds amazing, but it's taking up 96% of my CPU. So just like start axing things. And so this is like what I've landed on. That's like the max that I can do at 128. Without it just totally sounding like. Okay, yes.
What do you, as an artist and an engineer, what do you feel is most responsible for your success in networking and like?
Wait, what do I think is most responsible for my success?
What do you feel like something that you did that was like most responsible for your success?
Okay. Good communication. Yeah. I know you guys want to hear like, I'm a badass at drum programmer. I don't know. But no, like honestly, like I was saying in an interview with these guys before, like communication, it's everything, right? Because like you want someone on your team that can communicate well. And sometimes, especially when you're working with a lot of different artists, they have different ideas about how things are gonna go, and you have your idea about how things should go and should be, and like management has another idea, and then like the venue, the sound person at the venue has another idea, and the lighting person has another idea, and it's like everyone's got an idea about what they want to do. And I've been learning a lot with like the personal work that I've been doing as well with thought work. It's like we never really know what someone else is thinking, right? So communication and just being like, okay, these are my expectations for this. What are your expectations? How are we gonna like collaborate on this? I think also just being like, I don't know how to say it, but a chill person, like someone that people want to be around, you know, because like I find that, you know, if you're amenable to things, I mean, not everything, like you want to put your foot down if you're gonna get treated badly or poorly, but like, you know, just being down to help out, you know, down to be like we say it in the touring industry, don't be a white glover, right? If you're a white glover, then you don't get chosen, you don't get picked. You don't get picked for the team, you know? So if you're like, I don't want to move that case. I mean, I like, for a while, I was just like, okay, just like, this is my life. Like, I'm wheeling around all this stuff. I'll help you wheel around your stuff. I'll help whoever, except for now. But a few years ago, I would, but like, no. But just like, not being a white glover. I don't know what else. I don't know. I don't, like my brain doesn't stop. So I'm just like constantly like I'll be like in the car on the way here or wherever, just like, and I'll like think of some crazy idea and like try to execute it. And I've been trying to actually squash the ideas. You know, and this idea, I was like, I'm gonna do this. No, don't. Nope, you're doing too much already. So yeah, finding that balance, and then good communication again, like just being the best human, you know, that you can be, because people want to be around that, you know, being loving and kind and supportive. And you know, I find that I have my whole team, my company, and just people around me that I support and they support me, and I don't know, just like that's infectious. You know, if you like continue to like support people and help them out, even if you're not going to get anything in return, you know, it's just for like the experience or, you know, for the love or whatever. Like, you never know what's around the corner. Like, I've had hired interns that like are doing, you know, amazing things now, and like, you know, just taking a chance on them, just being like, okay, I see your passion, and they wanted to help me, and so I helped them, and anyway, just all that kind of stuff. Any other questions? Yes.
Do you use laptops when you play live, or when you do shows?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my dream, you know, I actually have been thinking about getting one of those new Mac Minis, right? Because those things are just like a beast, right? So, but then you gotta carry a screen with you, and all that stuff, and you gotta carry a keyboard and a mouse and all that kind of stuff. So, and then if you're like doing emails, like on the plane on the way there, then you gotta have a laptop too. So then you gotta carry like 2 machines. But in a perfect world, like, yeah, I think in the tour, like in a professional tour setting, for sure. Like, if I was Dead Mouse, which I'm not, but if I had a budget like Dead Mouse, I would have like one of those trash cans, I've got a screen, the whole thing, because like, got the money to like transport that stuff around, you know? So currently I'm still trying to fit everything in this like, you know, 50 pound, actually it was 55 pounds, and they're like, you're 5 pounds over, and I was like, oh, crap. So we took out 2 of the things from my Pelican and put it in my suitcase, and they're like, you're 2 pounds over on the suitcase. I was like, ah, but then let's go. But it's like constantly like that. It's like seeing like what's the max, you know, you can do with what you have, and yeah. Question? Another question? Yes.
I want to know about MIDI Merlin.
Yes.
Is it only monophonic, or can it do chords as well?
So it's monophonic right now, but I believe there's something in the pipeline. Yeah, chords, that'd be some like, I don't know, that's some AI stuff that's like probably right around the corner. But yeah, shout out to my friend Randy, who created this program. It's like super intelligent guy. He does like theremin stuff with like MIDI Merlin, and it's wild. Randy George. Okay, this question.
I was just gonna say, I was just texting my friend. He told me that he just bought a pickup of some sort that does polyphonic, like per string.
Oh, we'll text him back and see what it is.
All right.
No, you know what? I know there is. Actually, you know what? I know there are some plugins out there. I can't remember the name of it, but I think stuff like that works really well on instruments like guitar. But for violin with vibrato, it's just like, you know, like the app will try to find the center of the pitch, and it's just like it gets confused. You know, it's like, what are you? So for string instruments, I don't know. But yeah, there is one. I know there is a hardware pickup one. I wasn't aware it was polyphonic, but post it in the Facebook group if you find it. Okay. Yeah, for this. Okay, we're wrapping it up. All right, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much for coming, guys. Well, we'll post the next meetup when we have the date set. Come see Laura's show on Saturday. What time does it start?
6. Doors at 6?
Yeah, doors at 6.
Doors at 6. And then John Salway at 11 a.m. here for the masterclass. Yeah.
On Saturday?
On Saturday, same day. Yeah. There's supposed to be snow, but who cares, right?
Get snowed in here.
So you can get snowed in here and then at Laura's. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you to Ben and Matt from Ableton for putting this on.
Thank you to you guys for coming out.
Yeah. Oh, and whoever wants to see the roof, I'm going to go up on the roof right now and show you the view. So,
I want to go.
You want to go? All right, let's go.